So today I want to look at another excerpt from Zizek's interview with Vice TV. And once again, we have a joke dealing with Stalin, and he also relates it to the movie character, the Joker. So I'm going to play the clip and then I'll analyze it.
When they enter the flat, ask me, why do you have them? It's strictly for this.
It's just to annoy people.
Absolutely just to annoy people.
I've read on the front of your books, it's quoted that you're the most dangerous philosopher in the West. You don't seem very dangerous to me.
Here I must disappoint you. I am this type of a Joker guy. I mean, Joker from Batman,
Yeah, I know.
I laugh and so on, but I can be a Stalinist. If you give me power, I know how to use it. That's why I'm afraid almost of myself. I don't want power. I'm extremely sensitive. It's beautiful that you were on time there.
Yeah.
Even in love relations, what's my motto? I quote Lacan when he says, my fiancée is never late for an appointment because the moment she's late, she's no longer my fiancée. Thanks.
So we have this joke, and once again, we can look at it several angles from a psychoanalytic perspective. So the first aspect of the joke, this idea that his fiancée is never late because when she's late, she's no longer a fiancée. So on one hand, we can see this as kind of a sexist joke that stresses the way that we define people in relationships by their symbolic position. And so once again, I want to look at the two jokes here, the joke about the fiance and then the opening joke about Stalin. So once again, he identifies himself with Stalin, and then he also compares himself to the character of the Joker. And we have this idea, on one hand, he says that he's afraid of his own power or what he would do if he had power. And on the other hand, he compares himself to this character, the Joker, and this idea that he provokes, but you can just laugh him off. So what we're seeing here is this combination between saying something and unsaying something. And the way that humor allows us to, at one hand, to make a comment like a sexist comment or a comment about power, but then deny that we're making that comment. And so in this discourse of denial, we have, once again, this promotion of free speech. And we see this often in libertarian right-wing politics, the idea that the ultimate right is the right to say whatever you want, and that any restriction of that is seen as this oppressive castration. And so it sets up this binary opposition between the superego left that is constantly trying to censor us and to make us feel guilty and ashamed for what we say or what we think. And on the other hand, we have the libertarian id. And underlying this from a psychoanalytic perspective is this fundamental fantasy that kind of drives right-wing libertarian politics, which is the fantasy for total freedom and total enjoyment. And in this perverse fantasy, the idea is that fundamentally we all want to be free, and we all want to be free to exploit others or to express our sexuality, and that any form of restriction is seen as a castration and as the imposition of the oppressive superego. And so driving this fundamental push for free speech, the free market, and the free individual is this fantasy of the id, of the total freedom of expression, the total desire to express your impulses, your drives. And so it's the promotion of the id over the superego.